Hey there, I just wanted to pop on and do a little video about using crystals and how we're using crystals as a part of the bold intuition experience in accessing our inner yes and no. And one of the things about crystals, and I'll start off by just showing this small piece of quartz, which has a really nice, clear, bright frequency, is that crystals do have an energy and a frequency, and it is a stable frequency and energy. So this is part of how we can use the crystals to help to attune our energies and sometimes clear energies. Clearing energies can be done with crystals like Smokey Quartz. So Smokey Quartz is a great, and maybe I can do that a bit closer, but it's a great crystal that can clear denser, heavier energies and emotional energies, whilst also increasing the frequency within the energy field. So it does both. So it's one of my favorites for a very grounding stone that also can actually help you lift above some heavier feelings of grief or fear or anger. And additionally, we could use something like an obsidian. So this is a black obsidian, and it's one of the wands that you can use actually directly on the body if you're working with specific areas of tension where you feel there might be emotions. Here, I'm using it on an acupressure point. So this is a large intestine meridian point. And if I hold this here, then I'm utilizing the energy as well as the pressure on that meridian to help the energy to flow through that meridian. And in the meridian model, the Chinese 5 elements, that means that we're shifting the entire energy system just by shifting some energy in this one point on that meridian. But we can also just use this crystal to hold during a meditation, to hold over areas where we might be feeling more heaviness. So these darker colored crystals are brilliant for their ability to transform and transmute these harder feelings that we experience. So they're certainly invaluable for me in my personal process. So I might enjoy working with crystals that have a lighter, brighter color, or hold a kind of a different sort of a frequency, which we can talk about in future videos. But I really wanted to highlight a few that are good for working with some of our emotional blocks to help us to access that connection to the heart space. This is another version of a smoky quartz, which feels quite different in terms of the vibration and frequency. And it's got a slightly darker color and looks more earthy to me. So for me, this feels quite grounding. It feels quite soothing to the emotional system. And I'm always a big fan. I'm showing little ones just because I think we can do a lot with collections of little ones, even though we can have investment pieces. But this is a piece of labradorite, which has the lovely shimmery quality and holds with it if the metaphysical consciousness of magic and consciousness of our ability to access intuition. But I always also experienced labradorite to have a great ability to clear our energy field and create more of a protective field. And I often use a piece of labradorite to work with my energy field when I'm working with clients, particularly before and after, to clear any content that might have, come up within my system that I need to balance or calibrate so that I can be the best version of myself for my client. And then I've also got a piece of carnelian here, which has always been a massive favorite for me as well. So the carnelian is part of the agate family, and it has got quite a lot of motivating energy, and so an energy that brings energy up. But I do find carnelian to have a very grounding effect as well. So I've got a little bit of a theme with this cluster that we're working with, clearing emotions, balancing emotions, coming into a more grounded place. So fundamentally creating more access to a flow of earth energy in the energy body and in the energy field, as we know from the love bubble meditation. So if we're bringing in and integrating crystals into a love bubble meditation, then we're really able to access earth energy up through the central channel more easily. Or again, you can use this on any part of the body. I mean, you could use it on the shoulder, and even just for your own purposes in exploring that subtle awareness of what it, does when we use a crystal on the body to work on shifting energies in the body. And we'll be talking about this in more detail and some descriptions of basic ways to shift energy within the meridian system. But this is a basic introduction. And again, you don't even have to worry about meridians if you find that a bit confusing. Instead, you could just really look at holding a couple of different crystals. Here, I've also got a piece. Ooh, nearly dropped it. It's a jumpy one. So the charoite. And charoite is a little bit more of an expensive stone. Even a small piece could be a little bit more expensive because it's rare, but it does help to shift more entrenched habits, long-term habits that we might have. So we can work with a crystal like this and even partner a quartz and a charoite in order to help us. Oh, did you see the glimmer on that one? That was cool. But that's going to be that energy to support the energy of the charoite to shift any longer term patterns that are not serving our highest good. We can simply hold them in the hands, and if we wanted to do the love bubble meditation, we can have them in our hands over these areas of the body. But if we were doing a meditation and we wanted to put them in our palms and just merely sit our palms on our lap, upturned with the crystals, this would be another way to help to use the crystals to influence our energy. And I say influence, but really crystals have a higher ability to align with our highest good. So we are setting that overall intention in the entire container of Bold Intuition in any work that I do with clients or in these coaching groups. We are working for each individual's highest good and our ability to access inner guidance and soul-led guidance in order to make some decisions and take actions to live lives that are more aligned with our unique guidance. So I hope that's useful. I am going to just show one more crystal because sometimes we do have investment pieces that we can use, and this is a lovely Lemurian quartz, and the Lemurian quartz have the striations that hold different wisdom. So when we work with it can be a larger Lemurian, but honestly, there's going to be a lot of amazing energy to be accessed in a smaller piece of quartz like this as well. So we're not necessarily saying that this is better than this crystal, but it will depend on what you're drawn to and what you want to work with. Personally, I work a lot with Lemurian quartz, and it's one that I utilize to increase the flow of information. It 100% has a significant impact on my ability to access my intuition. So as long as I'm using my tools and strategies, then when we get to that point where my nervous system is a bit more stabilized and my energy system is more stabilized, then crystals like the Lemurian quartz can really activate that connection to inner guidance, but also to what we will be exploring more, which is intuitive pop-ups. And the world of intuitive pop-ups is very exciting and kind of cool. So thanks. I think this gives you a little bit of an idea how to use the crystals. Crystals can also be used alongside of any sort of journaling and heart writing that you might be doing, and any way that the energy of the crystal is helping to support you in really becoming more attuned and amplifying the inner listening skills. I am excited to hear how you guys go with this. Always drop any questions that you might have. I absolutely love problem solving and digging deep with using crystals to amplify our intuition. Thanks again.